Have you ever felt it? You're standing in a room full of people. Music is playing, everyone's laughing, conversations are happening all around you. And yet, somewhere inside you, there's this strange, hollow emptiness. Like you're there, but you're not really there. If you've ever felt that, let me tell you something right now. Your brain is not broken. Your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. Today, we're talking about a feeling almost everyone experiences, but almost no one truly understands. A feeling we usually label as weakness, as something to hide, something to fix. But it's actually one of the oldest alarm systems your brain has ever built. Today, we're talking about the philosophy of loneliness, and by the end of this video, you are never going to look at loneliness the same way again. Let's get into it. Picture someone standing in a crowded room. People everywhere, noise everywhere, laughter everywhere, and still, that person feels completely alone. Not physically alone, just alone. Maybe you felt this at a party. Maybe you felt this scrolling through your phone at 1 a.m., watching everyone else's highlight reel while you sit in the dark. Maybe you felt this sitting at a family dinner, surrounded by people who share your blood but somehow don't seem to know you at all. We usually think loneliness is about how many people are around us, but that's not true. Loneliness has almost nothing to do with how many people are in the room. It has everything to do with a signal firing inside your brain, a signal that has nothing to do with math, and everything to do with meaning. And here's where the first big myth breaks down. Loneliness is not weakness. It's not a flaw in your personality. It's not proof that something is wrong with you. It's an evolutionary gift. Yes, you heard that right. A gift. But to understand why, we need to go back. Long before smartphones, long before cities, long before language even existed in the form we know today. Picture an early human, sitting alone by a fire, deep in the forest. The darkness is thickening, the wind is carrying strange sounds. Somewhere out there, predators are moving closer, patient, watching. And this person is alone. Their tribe, their group, their protection is nowhere nearby. Back then, being alone didn't just mean feeling sad. It meant something far more brutal. It meant death. A human separated from the tribe had no protection at night. No one to share food with during a bad season. No one to warn them of danger. No one to help carry them home if they got hurt. Survival, for early humans, was never really an individual project. It was a group project, and the individuals who felt nothing when they were cut off from the group, who felt perfectly fine wandering alone into the wilderness, those individuals simply didn't survive long enough to pass on their genes. So evolution did what it always does best. It built a warning system into the ones who did survive. The same way hunger creates that gnawing feeling in your stomach so you go find food, the same way thirst creates that dry, urgent feeling so you go find water, your brain turned social disconnection into a kind of pain, an alarm, a signal screaming for your attention, demanding that you do something about it. And here's the part that should genuinely surprise you. Modern neuroscience has actually confirmed this old evolutionary theory in a very literal way. Brain imaging studies have shown that when a person experiences social rejection or exclusion, the exact same regions of the brain light up as when they experience physical pain. The same circuitry, the same distress signals. So when you say things like, "This loneliness is eating me alive," or "My heart is aching," that's not just a figure of speech. Your brain is, quite literally, processing emotional pain using some of the same machinery it uses for physical injury. Loneliness is your brain's way of screaming one simple urgent message: go back, connect with someone. You are in danger. It's not a weakness. It's millions of years of evolutionary wisdom, still running quietly inside you, right now, in this very moment, even as you sit comfortably watching this video. But here's where things get interesting, because science tells us loneliness is an alarm, a survival mechanism, a biological necessity. Philosophy asks a much deeper, much more uncomfortable question. Is being alone the same thing as feeling lonely? No, not even close. Being alone is a state, a circumstance. You're sitting in a room by yourself, reading a book, cooking dinner for one, sitting with your own thoughts. Sometimes it's not even forced on you. Sometimes it's a choice you make on purpose, a door you close because you want silence. Feeling lonely is different. It's not a circumstance. It's an emotion, a subjective experience. You can be surrounded by 1,000 people at a concert, a wedding, a family gathering, and still feel completely, achingly alone. And on the flip side, you can spend an entire evening by yourself and feel completely at peace, completely whole, not lonely at all. This is exactly where philosophers have been circling for centuries, long before psychologists ever picked up the topic. Many thinkers throughout history have argued that solitude is where a person actually meets themselves for the first time. When the outside noise fades away, when there's no one left to perform for, no one left to impress, the voice inside finally becomes clear. In solitude, the masks come off. There's no audience left to convince. Think about it. Some of history's greatest decisions, deepest creative works, most important discoveries and inventions were not born in crowds, not in noise, not in meetings or parties or group chats. They were born in silence, in solitude, in those quiet, uncomfortable hours when a person finally had nowhere left to hide from their own mind. So maybe loneliness, in its purest form, isn't a punishment. Maybe it's an invitation to self-discovery, an invitation to finally meet the person you've been avoiding your whole life, yourself. The difference is simply this: how you choose to see it and what you choose to do with it. If you run from loneliness, distract yourself endlessly, numb it with noise and notifications, it hardens into something painful, something corrosive. But if you sit with it, even for a few uncomfortable minutes, it can soften into something else entirely. It can become a mirror. And there's something else worth mentioning here. Something that makes this whole topic even more relevant today than it's ever been before. We are, right now, living through what many researchers call a loneliness epidemic. We are more digitally connected than any generation in human history. We can message someone on the other side of the planet in less than a second. And yet, rates of reported loneliness have been climbing for years. Why? Because your brain didn't evolve to recognize a text message, a like, or a notification as real connection. It evolved to recognize eye contact, shared meals, physical presence, the sound of a familiar voice in the same room. Digital connection can feel like food, but it often doesn't actually nourish the same ancient hunger. So here's the real question. Is loneliness a disease, or is it an opportunity? Honestly, both answers are true, and that contradiction is exactly what makes this so fascinating. For millions of years, your brain has been pulling you toward connection, because once upon a time, connection was the literal difference between life and death. That pull hasn't gone away. It's still there, wired deep into you. But hidden inside that very same brain is another kind of power. The power to sit in silence and finally honestly understand yourself. The power to turn an uncomfortable feeling into a doorway instead of a wall. So next time loneliness creeps in, don't just ask yourself, what's wrong with me? Ask instead, what is my brain trying to tell me right now? Maybe it's telling you to reach out to someone you've been avoiding. Maybe it's telling you that the connections in your life have become surface level, and it's time to build something deeper. Or maybe it's finally giving you the chance to sit still, be quiet, and meet yourself. If this video made you think, drop a comment and let me know. For you, is loneliness pain or is it opportunity? I genuinely want to know where you land on this. And if you enjoy content that digs deep and messes with your head a little, hit subscribe, because on Cognitive Glitch we do this every single week. See you in the next one with another glitch. Until then, try making peace with your loneliness. It might just turn out to be your greatest teacher.